Wow.
War, but you get the gist of it right here.
That just brings up so many memories for me
Of course.
because being in a crowd of thousands and watching her up on the stage with nothing but that guitar and bringing us all to sing together. Now that crowd was decidedly white. The crowds that I was in when I went to see her, being that um, they were at Los Angeles venues, um, was more mixed.
Mhm.
And as we looked around at each other, you could see tears streaming down the faces of people, and then realize that you had the same tears. And total strangers turning to look at each other, smile, arms around, going around each other or holding hands. It was like this whole sense of brother and sisterhood that so many had never felt, that they never had. And I mean, there was one guy that was near me. He said, "This is one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I've never felt like this before." And that's part of what she brought to it.
Well, Nancy and I both do sing-alongs,
Yeah.
and because I do it. We both do it, both mostly with seniors, but nevertheless, getting people to and what was the big thing during the folk era? It was hootenannies, and it's like we go to sporting events. I mean, you saw during all this World Soccer and all that sort of stuff how it unites people. Uh, and also sets them at odds because of different countries and stuff. But nevertheless, it's a way of being part of a larger community. And that's what folk music is. Folk is by its nature communal.
Absolutely.
And that's, in fact, each facet of what we're doing and going through the 60s, I got a new appreciation for the Beatles and Stones and all those rock groups. And I got a new appreciation for all the soul stuff. And now I'm getting a new appreciation for all these folkies. Of course, I studied folk music. I spent a year and a half in the folklore department at UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of work on Anglo-American folk song and history, and uh, I even, when I was in grad school, I did the roots of rock, and I was always uh, trying to the folk roots, how it came from field hollers, and it came from war
Right.
songs and jail songs and all that sort of stuff. So, and I think, and you've talked about this, Gail, about Wells. There are people today that we're due for a folk renaissance. Folk would be such a breath of fresh air right now because in our cyber world, in our uh, electronic world, in our AI world, we are so isolated, and there's such a need to join forces. And that's what these singers were doing. And you see that with Joan right there, entreating people to sing along um, and to be part of the community.
Interesting that you should mention Jesse Wells, because at one of his performances that Joan Baez happened to be at, she came up on stage and sang with him on No Kings.
Wow.
Such a big thing. They went
Yes.
and they recorded it together. He has been anointed by the Queen.
Right.
I mean, by her mere presence
Yes.
on that stage, she just said to everyone, listen to this young man.
Well, if Aretha was the queen of soul, I think I agree with you. She was the queen of folk. And God, she's 80 some odd years old. She's older than I am. And I'm older than, you know, let's not talk about. So
I'm older than dirt, so you know.
exactly.
But I mean,
And
it was so interesting, to see all of a sudden. I went, oh my God, Joan Baez just walked up on stage with them, and
yeah,
she's singing "No Kings" at this "No Kings" rally, and
right.
it's like, okay, of course she'd be there because she was at all of them, and such, and then agreed to go in and record like another version of the song with them. I mean, it was just like, just so incredible because what she did and what so many people are recognizing right now is that there is a return to those roots. Just as in country music, you're seeing a lot of country artists who normally would be the, Christian right,
Right.
such, who are, there's this one guy who's a big guy, and he's doing stuff like, I vote the same as my collar, you know and he admonishes people that, who are not being loving to one another, that they need to read the words that are in red,
Yeah.
meaning from the New Testament and stuff. And so it's like, you've got that, you've got a, a lesbian leftist country artist who wrote this great song called "Barefoot and Pregnant," and basically talking about how women are trying to be pushed back into
Yeah.
that role. You have this happening, and it is all on top of the roots of people like Joan Baez and Pete Seeger, and the other greats, Dylan, the ones who made a difference in in our society. I mean, without these people in the folk world, there would have
Yeah.
probably been a much longer involvement in Vietnam. But these people helped um, change the tenor of the times.
And I think the times today, there is a need, and there'll be an appetite for more stuff like that. I'm going to go right now to a Phil Oak song that Joan performed. It's called "There But
There
Fortune."
but fortune, yeah.